bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
We're in North Portland at the Ronald McDonald House. You're watching Comcast Newsmakers. Here at the Ronald McDonald House, they rely on volunteers. In fact, they get 15,000 volunteer hours from groups around town, such as Intel. And what they do is they prepare meals, they do household chores, and as I can smell right now, they're also making cookies. So glad you're with us. I'm Ken Ackerman, and joining us right now is Andy Nelson, who is the Executive Director of Hands On Greater Portland, and I added the greater because that's something that's new. When we talk about Hands On, I think the people who know about it know that you place volunteers. But how do you place them? Do you do personality profiles? Do you ask folks what their interests are? How do you place someone and make the perfect fit?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if we've achieved the perfect fit, but we're trying to come as close as we can. And the challenge is that volunteers are interested in a wide variety of things, and they also have the limitations of their schedules, and that's a big thing. You know, who's not busy today? And what we've really tried to do is accommodate busy schedules by having a lot of opportunities on weekend hours, after work, when people are more available. And I think that's an innovation that's really helped over the last 12 years to get a lot of people out doing something. You know, Ken, I meet all kinds of people who say, look, it's not an issue that I want to help. The issue is I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to plug into something that I'm interested in that's also going to meet my schedule and my time frame. So we've been able to really, I think, chip away at that over the last 12 years.
I think a misnomer is that it's just adults who get to volunteer. It's actually all ages, isn't it?
Well, that's new. You know, I don't know about you, but when I was in high school, the only volunteering I remember was members of the National Honor Society. And I hate to break this, but I was not a member. You probably were. But today kids of all types volunteer and are asked to. In fact, there's incentives for young people to volunteer, and it's wonderful. We have a very extensive following of kids, teenagers, youth who get out and volunteer. Another exciting innovation we've had is something called family volunteering, and I know this from personal experience. You know, I have an 8-year-old son, and it's hard to find volunteer projects where I can go out with him and feel like this is working for him and for me. We've really worked hard over the last 18 months to develop family opportunities that really work for kids. They're short in time frame, they have an impact that kids can understand, and they have that meaning. You know, imagine if we can get young people today really to have service become a mantra of how they live. I'm excited about that possible future. You know, and
it's a family building activity as well.
Well, that's right. I mean, in finding things to do for the family that are bigger than us, it's hard to do that. And I like to think this really helps fill in the void for families.
Which charities or organizations typically are in most need of volunteers?
Well, that's a great question, and I think that depends on who you ask. We work with 250 nonprofits and schools a year, and I say to an organization, they're all doing great work, they're all meeting critical needs in the community. This time of year, the holiday time of year, I think is when we think of safety net, things like food, clothing, and that sort of stuff, which is great. But we also do a lot of work with organizations that are restoring the urban watershed in the city. I mean, this is pretty exciting, but we're at a point where we maybe see salmon swimming again within the city limits, within the metro area. It's pretty great. Places like Ronald McDonald House, just doing wonderful work day in, day out. They have needs 365 days a year. I think the question is more about where does someone's personal passion and interest intersect with a need, because that's something we can do.
You have something coming up January 17th through 19th. Tell me about what that is.
Well, this is my favorite volunteer event of the year. It's the annual holiday celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and it's the only national holiday that's truly a day of service. It's on the 19th this year. It's a bank holiday. A lot of people have the day off. We're making a whole weekend out of it. From the 17th to the 19th, we've created over 800 volunteer slots in partnership with a couple of dozen organizations.
And if anyone wants to get involved, we'll put your website on for them to contact you. Andy Nelson, thank you very much. And thank you for being here as well on Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Ken Ackerman. Make it a great day.